Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Mr. Anger. Welcome to another episode of the Mr. Anger Show. I must apologize first off. Thank you, subscribers, and everybody who's commented and liked my videos. I do appreciate you. I really do. I appreciate that you want to grow with me as this episode. I want everybody to grow together. I want you guys to grow with me. I want to grow with you, and vice versa, whichever way you decide to look at it. I want us all to grow together. And I made a promise to you guys at the beginning when I started this that I'd do an episode every week. And unfortunately, I haven't been able to do that. I haven't done an episode for a couple of weeks now. I think it's been almost 3 weeks. Unfortunately, I had a death in the family and a lot of other unfortunate incidences just kind of collide. And things just kind of got slipped away from me, and I do apologize. And I thank everybody for their continued support, and I hope you guys continue to grow with me, and I continue to grow with you. Now, with that being said, if you are not old enough to buy one of these, you need to ask your parents' permission to watch this, because I do use a little bit of language. I do bring up controversial subjects and issues, and I do not want to be blamed in the comment section below for what a little child has done after they've seen my video. Please don't blame me. Be responsible parents. Know what your kids are watching. Know what your kids are doing. And we'll be alright. Alright, so kids, if you're watching this, go ask your parents for permission. I've warned you. Now, another warning before we get started. I'm going to be talking about Captain America Civil War. So, spoiler alert. Can I make that any more obvious? Spoiler alert. Can we do it again? Spoiler alert. Ooh, different hand. Oh, isn't that just great? Spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. I'm going to be talking about this movie in detail. I'm not going to give away too many details, but I am going to mention some key, important, and component parts of the movie. So before we, get into it here, if you have not seen this movie, go see it, then come back and then watch this episode and see if we agree or disagree. I know some people are going to agree with my views on this movie. Some people are going to disagree. That's just the nature of the beast. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. That's perfectly fine. But I do not want any comments in the comments section below with people going, "Oh my God, you ruined this for me. Oh, you Batman, you spoiled the movie for me." No, I don't want none of that. I warned you. I gave you plenty of ample warnings. So without further ado, let's divulge right into it. Alright. Captain America Civil War. I give it, out of 5 stars, 4. And here's the reason why. The reason why I dinged a star is because Marvel is trying to do the realistic movie feel, making things believable that it could actually happen in this reality. They're trying to do that. There was a few things in there that just kind of throws you off guard that you can tell is CGI. When the rest of the movie is extremely well polished, these few things, when they do come up, they just stick out like a sore thumb and just detract you from the experience. I think it just throws you back, and you're like, oh my God, that's not good CGI. I mean, it was good, but you could tell it's CGI. It wasn't polished over. It wasn't nicely done. It wasn't made to look realistic. You could obviously tell it, and I'm going to just say it with Scarlet Witch when she uses her powers. It is obvious. It doesn't look realistic or nothing. It just kind of looks. You could tell it's CGI, and it just detracts from the story. And Ant-Man, when he turns humongous in the movie, you could tell it's it's CGI, and it happens in key component parts where it just kind of distracts you from the story, and makes you step back away from it, and then you have to get involved all over again. And that's kind of a problem when the film mostly I mean, and it does. It mostly stays in the realm of reality and trying to keep you into that realm. But when those moments do pop up, it's a huge distraction. Now, the other reason is the Winter Soldier story, where Bucky is not the only Winter Soldier. There's others. Yes, we find out in this movie that there are other Winter Soldiers. And some of them, or at least one that I know of, which they showed quite a bit of, well, not quite a bit of, but they showed a nice good clip of another Winter Soldier who was way stronger than Bucky was. I mean, kicking his ass left and right and kicking everybody's ass that got in his way or in his line of sight. This guy was a legitimate badass, but Bucky was controllable, whereas this guy, he wasn't. He wasn't listening to his handlers or anything like that. And of course, this is back during the days when Bucky was being, brainwashed and so that people could control his actions. That's what this main story is all about, is Bucky. You feel sorry for Bucky because he has become a weapon for people who know how to control his mind. And he's aware of what he's doing is wrong, but he can't stop what he's doing because of the mind control that's going on. And it's kind of tragic. The main battle of the story, of course, is between Captain America and Iron Man. And that storyline is great. You can see both sides of the issue. But if I have to choose a side, I have to go for Team Iron Man. I'm sorry. I can't go with Captain America. I can't. Because Captain America has some fallacies in his thought process that I think he has forgotten about. Like, Captain America thinks that the fate of the world should be left in their capable hands. While Tony Stark believes, or Iron Man believes, that, people they should be kept in check. Because unfortunately, when they're saving the world, casualties of war happen and innocent people die by their hands. Not intentionally, but still, it's an inadvertent death that they caused, but it's still a death that they caused. And people should face their responsibilities and take responsibility for their actions. And I like that. I like that a lot because that works more along the lines of the real world than it does. I mean, in the real world, it works better in the real world. I'm sorry. I kind of got jumbled up in thoughts there. Because in the real world, we all answer to somebody. When you're driving down the road, you're answering to man's laws, to our government's laws, to state laws, because you got to obey speed limits. You got to stop at the stop sign. You got to do that. When you go to your job, you have a boss. You got to answer to them. Everybody answers to somebody, including the President of the United States. That's why there's this WhiteHousePetition.org where people, if you get over 100,000 signatures, the president will address the issue and answer, and answer for what the people want. And people, I think, have forgotten that the president has to answer to us as much as we have to answer to him. But anyways, that's where I'm getting the consensus of, where my views are, is that everybody answers to somebody in some way, shape, or form. And whether it's a religious or a boss or an officer, FBI, CIA, or a person from a state agency to state laws to local laws, you got to answer to somebody somewhere somehow. Now, Captain America raises the point, that with people, being in charge, people have agendas. So what's to stop them from, being used for their particular agenda? But what Captain America forgets is that there's 123 nations there that make up the UN Council that will be over them. So 123 world leaders would check and balance each other out pretty well, because some warlord or world leader down in and a third world country wants them to come in and just wipe out a particular culture or something, it's probably going to be ejected by the majority of the other UN Council members or the other world leaders. So it gives into the balance of checks and balances, and I think Captain America has forgotten that he doesn't see the bigger picture and that it will regulate itself by each foreign leader keeping each other in check. And then also, just like in the Winter Soldier story arc, SHIELD was an operation of Hydra. You can revolt. If you feel that they are wrong, you can revolt. Play along. Play by the rules. As long as you think that what they're doing is right, then you're fine. Captain America and them found out that, SHIELD was doing some things wrong, and they revolted, and they won. The same thing can happen with the UN being in charge of the Avengers. If the Avengers feel that the UN is taking advantage of them or something, they can revolt. Or if they've been corrupted and being used wrongly, they can revolt and do it easily because they have the powers to do so. So I think Captain America has forgotten some of these key components here, and that's why I'm Team Iron Man. Now, as far as the thing about whether or not it will continue on, the thing in between Captain America and Tony Stark, yeah, it will continue on. It will bleed over into Infinity Wars. Infinity Wars, according to the comic books, is where Iron Man kills Captain America and Bucky takes over as Captain America. Captain America has been replaced twice. Once by Bucky, the second time by Falcon. Falcon takes over the SHIELD after Bucky. And yes, it is an important key part in the story arc of this universe. So if Captain America somehow makes it through, it's going to screw up the whole storyline and the story arc of the franchise. And from there, who knows what it's going to be. Will it be good? Will it be bad? Will it be ugly or indifferent? Who knows? I'm sorry, it's getting a little bit dark out here. Let me go turn on the lights. Aha, you can see me now. So yes, I'm waiting for Captain America to die. I was kind of hoping that they would kind of push that forward into the Civil War storyline so that they could focus more on Thanos and the Infinity Wars. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. A lot of people were saying that Iron Man lost at the end of the movie, but no, not really. Iron Man was taking on basically two Captain Americas. Because Bucky does become Captain America. He's as strong as Captain America, he's as tough as Captain America, and he was fighting them both. And he rips off Bucky's arm. Iron Man does. His metal arm, it's gone. And he beats the heck out of Steve Rogers there for a little while. And if it wasn't for Rogers driving that shield into Tony's arc reactor and making the suit null and void, I think the results would have been a heck of a lot different, considering that he just beat one Captain America and was kicking the shit out of the other Captain America. I think Tony Stark has the upper hand and the advantage in this scenario. So that's why I'm Team Iron Man. I know, disagree with me. Boo, boo, boo. Hiss, hiss, hiss. Oh, you don't like Captain America. It's not that I dislike him. I've enjoyed his movies. I really have. But is it one of the movie franchises that I hold above the others? No. I like the Iron Man series better than I do the Captain America series. But that's just personal preference. But still, it doesn't detract from the movie. The movie is great. It's wonderful. Go watch it. Besides a few minor bugs, the movie is wonderful. It's worth the price of admission. Go see it. Enjoy. I hope everybody enjoys it in some shape, form, or fashion. I mean, even though I found some minor faults in it, it's not the worst movie ever. It's not a bad movie by any means. It's a good movie. It's a decent movie. It's a great movie. Go watch it and enjoy. Next week, I'm going to be playing the Uncharted 4 game, which I will be live streaming from my Twitch account under the name Death's Last Stop. Death's Last Stop, DeathSlastStop. It's one word. Just look me up on Twitch, and if you're interested in the video game Uncharted 4 or the Uncharted series, I'll be live streaming it midnight on it'll be Tuesday morning, midnight Tuesday morning, or midnight Monday night, which one you prefer. Just choose one. I'll be live streaming, and you can watch. I'm not the greatest gamer in the world, but I'm pretty daggone good at it. But if anybody's interested in that game, feel free to look me up on Twitch. I'll be online and trying to kick some butt on that game. I'm really looking forward to it. That's a game series that I've really enjoyed. I highly recommend anybody who's a gamer, who likes adventure games, to get Uncharted and at least try it. If you like Indiana Jones, please try it, because basically that is this next generation's modern Indiana Jones, it feels like to me. I really enjoy it. The game itself is great. It's like playing a movie where you're playing the main character. You feel like you're in the movie and just controlling the main character the whole time. It's great. The way Naughty Dog does it, it's cinematic. It's epic. It's epic in proportions that I can't explain. I've always enjoyed it. I rarely get excited at release dates anymore. I used to get excited about Call of Duty, Halo, Battlefield, and all that. But as the years have gone by, my excitement for those series have kind of waned. But with Uncharted, it has never waned. Ever since the first game, I've always been super excited and giddy like a little schoolgirl. I'm like, Uncharted, I want to play. And my friends who don't own a PlayStation go, I want to come up and watch the movie. Because I'm serious, when you're playing a game, it's like you're playing the main character of a movie, and everything blends seamlessly together. It's nice. So if you've never played it before, please go check it out. Go check out the trailers for it. Tell me what you think about Uncharted if you know about it, or if you're not into video gaming, I'm sorry to exclude you. You can cuss me out in the comment section below. Call me the biggest nerd in the world. I'm sorry. I grew up with video games. I've always had a video game console. The first video game console I had was the original Atari. I had the original Nintendo. I've had every game system since Atari, pretty much. I know there's a few rare ones that I haven't gotten, like the Jaguar, and I'm not paying $2,000 for a Jaguar system. In case anybody doesn't know what that is, a Jaguar was made, I think it was in Japan. Yeah, it was made in Japan. It's a disc-based console, so basically anything on a disc from PlayStation 2 on down, like a Sega Genesis CD game or something like that, or a Dreamcast game, or a Nintendo 64 game, or a Wii game. I don't know if it included a Wii, because I don't think Wii was out when Jaguar was out. But it plays all games, all formats from all systems. It was an amazing system for its time, but it because of its cost, it just kind of placated from the arena quite quickly. As you can tell today, I'm wearing my Ford Mustang shirt. No, it's not a preference of cars over another car. I drive a Chevy Camaro. I love American muscle car. Any American muscle car, I love it. I'm just a really big fan of American muscle cars. This is not a preferential treatment towards one over the other. I love them all. If it's American muscle, I want to drive it. I want to see what it can do. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, please leave in the comment section below some topics for next week. I'm sorry this episode has kind of been not it's been kind of jumbled. I was trying to formulate my thoughts on Captain America: Civil War, and it's kind of hard because I mean there's still a lot of things that are processing since it's such a new movie that are still processing in my head about what I just saw and different angles that I'm trying to view. But I definitely give this movie, Captain America: Civil War, 4 out of 5 stars. 4 out of 5. I recommend people go see it if you enjoy comic book movies. If you're new to comic book movies, I will warn you they do a lot of introductions. Uh, like I said, I do love the new Black Panther. I do love the new Spider-Man. There's those 2 introductions. Those are the 2 main introductions, but there's a lot of characters from other movies that kind of come in and into this one movie. So if you haven't watched any other comic book movies, I would recommend that you go watch the others first. That way you can understand where these other characters are coming from that are showing up in this movie seemingly out of nowhere. So go watch the other ones before you watch that if you're new to comic book movies. Other than that, I say go to the movies, enjoy, have fun. I hope you do. If you don't, you can come over here and beat me up with a wet noodle. I don't know how that will work, but maybe it'll work. Anyways, I'm Mr. Anger. Leave in the comment section below what you want me to talk about next week. Sorry, my thoughts were a little bit jumbled, but I was trying to get this out there so that people can, get a general consensus of whether or not they want to go see it and all this stuff. But, no matter what my opinion is, it's going to do well at the box office. It already has, just by the pre-orders alone, or the pre-ticket sales alone. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If not, smack a thumbs down on me and say, "Screw you, asshole! I hope you go to hell and you die. I hope you die twice." If I could do it for you, I'll try, but, no promises. This is Mr. Anger. Until next episode, have a good one.